Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And got a good one for you today because I'm in Corona del Mar, California at Corona del Mar High School. They're having a car show today. And I got out here early for you so I could film all this. But there's something great to talk about today, and that is they had an emergency banking meeting that we're going to cover that affects each and every one of us. And before I get into it, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification. Don't forget to join the email list, guys. Over 1,000 people have joined the email list. It's the first link below. Plus, today we have a sponsor, Patriot Gold. This place is great. There's a bunch of cool cars. I filmed everything, so I'll show it all to you throughout the video. But first things first, think about this. Jamie Dimon called together all the bankers at his house. Nobody, he didn't hop on his plane and go anywhere. They came to his apartment and they had this secret powwow meeting to discuss banking. Now, guys, this is ridiculous. If you don't think that something's going down with banking right now, you are kidding yourself. Absolutely kidding yourself. We have been told right now that they're trying to put together liquidity for the small regional banks, and this is an absolute problem, without a doubt, okay? And this is just like the old Bear Stearns days and 2006, 2007, building up to 2008, all over again. You're not to worry. Don't worry about any of this stuff, guys. Everything is great right now. There's not a care in the world. But they're trying to raise money. They're trying to decide what they're going to do. If you don't think that our fate is being determined by these fat cats, you're kidding yourself. And in fact, think about this. Who voted for Jamie Dimon? In fact, well, who voted for Janet Yellen? Let's put it that way. If you don't think that she's out of it right now, 78 years old, it's ridiculous that we have her in charge of the Treasury right now. Clueless. If you saw her on Capitol Hill this week, she just got lambasted, was asked questions, and was befuddled and talking about, our deficit, how it's gone up, and couldn't, everything she talked about how all these spending programs are only doing one thing, and that's raising spending and not lowering any deficit right now. So banking right now will seize up someday. You're going to see a problem where it's going to close, it's going to shut off. You're not going to be able to use your debit card. You're not going to be able to use your ATM card. Everything. It's going to be done. But look at what Bill Ackman said from the last video where he talked about, I used the TikTok that somebody provided, where he was talking about having your money in multiple locations. Looking at money market funds, looking at different locations, different banks, different community banks, different credit unions. Generally, guys, credit unions are fiscally responsible. You can walk into a credit union and basically ask them, as a member of the credit union, or hey, I want to be a potential member, what the financial solvency of the credit union is. That's huge, guys. And they will give you that, to say the least. So I have to move because of all the music. There's a lot more to cover in this video. There was so much music at the car show that I had to move. So I'm over at a place called The Bluffs right now, filming over here. And I want you to think about this. Have you heard the term FSOC? They're having an FSOC meeting. Okay, that's the Financial Stability Oversight Council, which is ridiculous. That is a group led by Janet Yellen, Jerome Powell, other people from the Fed, other bankers. It basically has no weight as far as a governmental agency, but it's just the committee of cool kids that get together to talk about how bad banking is right now. The joke about this is twofold, and that is they're trying to stabilize the banking industry right now and trying to get people's fears taken away from that. And all of us have nothing but fears right now. There's so many people that are worried about banking right now that all we can do is laugh at these people and understand that what they're doing is serving no purpose whatsoever. It's not going to solve anything. It's not going to get us out of harm's way in any way, shape, or form. But think about this. FSOC means Financial Stability Oversight Council. That right there is a joke. Right there. I have no faith in any of these people at all. Now, here's the one thing that's great. Is if you look at this article out of the New York Post, the White House is totally concerned about Janet Yellen right now. And they're concerned about her being in charge of this. Can she handle it? As in, She's not doing anything. Think about this. She told us 5 years ago, she said, listen, you'll never see another financial calamity and a financial downturn and a crisis in my lifetime. Well, we're living through one right now, guys. The crash is here, guys. That's what's happening right now before our eyes, and we've got her in charge of the show right now. So, you know, it's too much. I think that you're gonna see a collapse. I want you guys to remember something. Remember when 2008 happened? It was after the election. You know, Barack Obama had already been elected. George Bush was the, you know, lame duck president, but he was trying to hold things together during that time, you know, before Barack got into office in January, and things were just falling apart. They really were. You're gonna see that happen again right now, right before our eyes. You're gonna see something like this happen. But the White House is trying to pin fingers on somebody, and it looks like it's gonna be Janet Yellen, and they're trying to think of who could replace her right now. Now, they're talking about Brian Moynihan from Bank of America. Do you want a banker as a Treasury Secretary? If they did, they should choose someone like Michael Hartnett, who works for Bank of America and is their conservative analyst. Somebody like that would be better than Janet Yellen. With rising interest rates, with people losing their jobs left and right, you've never seen anything like this in our lifetimes. People are trying to tell me, and I get two types of people that write me. They say, things are good, Dan. You're just a fearmonger. You know, everything's going to work out. Okay, maybe. Okay, but let's just hold our breath. Let's say you're right. Interest rates are going to start to miraculously go down. Are people going to get their jobs back? You know, is real estate going to start to sell? Are cars going to start to sell? The fact that there are more, think about this stat. There are more people at 75 days late on their car payment than during the financial crisis of 2008. Every year. More people today. Huh. Okay. People have no money. People are picking and choosing what they're paying right now. That's a problem. And when you live that way, you know, it's no way to live. You're not getting ahead. You're not saving money. You're borrowing money left and right. That's what they're going through right now. So with that happening, you know, it's just a matter of time. Something else that's interesting right now, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is getting a resurgence in certain countries. How about this? In Africa, they're anticipating that Bitcoin could be huge in Africa because of how expensive it is to conduct banking. And when you live in rural areas, it's very difficult to, you know, if you live out in the bush, to use a bank, okay? And their transfer system that they use to pay bills is incredibly cumbersome and expensive. And they want to have a different platform. Jack Dorsey, who used to own Twitter and now owns a company called Block, is trying to make it so that they can move money around Africa better. And here's what's going to happen, because this is twofold, guys. The SEC is meeting right now to discuss banking and to discuss cryptocurrencies. Isn't that interesting? Huh. Remember, Jamie Dimon says it was trash, it was junk, it's not worth anything. And now the SEC's discussing how they can regulate these different cryptos. You know, that's fascinating to say the least. So Africa, they anticipate that there's $68 billion of transactions that could be done with Bitcoin, because you could basically transfer Bitcoin, convert it to cash, convert it to Bitcoin, buy different currencies globally, but it could make the poorest people have access to funds and money that they've never had before. And when you read the article, it's pretty fascinating, because I guess that would kind of work right now. Okay? So, what do you guys think about that stuff? You know, and again, if you're going to tell me how great Bitcoin is, do what Alyssa did with a Y, where she's a real player. She's got a ton of it. She bought it, been saving it, been adding more to it. And since I talked to her, she emailed me back and forth, a week and a half ago, it's gone up substantially. So she's worth a lot with it when it comes to the Bitcoin. Look at other things. What do you think about things like Shiba Inu, those little coins that you can buy for a fraction of a dollar? If you put 25 bucks in, you'd get millions of coins. Do you think that's the future? Do you think that those coins like that are going to be something that people are going to use, buy, and transact money with? Who knows? Carvana, I love Carvana and all the great stories that have come out of that. The fact that this place is $9 billion in debt, and they did some shady, shady stuff. There's a great story that was sent to me by multiple people, but Becca, I want to thank her for this, because it was a story where a guy went out for his wife's birthday in 2021 and went to Carvana and bought her a 2021 Maserati. Here you go, baby, happy birthday. Isn't that great? You got the car of your dreams, okay? Only problem was they took the car into the dealership. Think about this. And the technician, now when you go to a high-end dealership, everything's registered. Everything is done, the parts, everything. There's no messing around with these people. They found out that the car was not a 2021, it was actually a 2017 car. And think about this, the VIN number didn't match. What was on the car and what was on the windows were two different VIN numbers. The car that it actually was a stolen 2017 car, 2017. Imagine you buy a car and it's 4 years older than you think, okay? Because they're trying to buy parts for it, and hey, these are old parts, it's an older car. It's not a, I don't know what you're talking about. It's not a 2021 at all. So that's Carvana. That's your company that's $9 billion in debt, that's trying to negotiate its creditors right now. That is insane, guys. It's absolutely nuts that people are doing business with them right now. So, have you dealt with Carvana? Have you dealt with anybody like this in the past that you should be worried about? Let me know. Tell me, because I'm curious about this, because we haven't seen anything. Plus the banking debacle. Tell me if you're worried about this right now or not. I have zero faith in these people. These are idiots with a checkbook. These are idiots that, it's just a den of alcoholics. It really is. It's just whoa. Remember, I don't know, growing up, there were tracts of houses when I grew up that people would live in. And you had this place called Tustin Meadows that a lot of people lived in. And, but there'd always be certain streets where you'd have crazy people that lived on certain streets. That's what our Fed is right now. That's what Janet Yellen, it's the crazy house on the street. It really is. And if you think it's not, you guys are kidding yourself. These people have no care for us at all. And the fact that Jamie Dimon's, calling the troops to his house, that's nuts, guys. And we're supposed to believe this guy? Lunacy, guys. So share your thoughts on this stuff so far. Let me know what you think. There's a little bit more to cover today. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. The financial crisis of 2023 is here. You can do something about that. You can get yourself an IRA or 401k that's backed by physical metals from Patriot Gold Group. Call them today, 888-330-1431, and let them know that I allegedly sent you. They will give you a free investor guide, best-in-class service, #1 rated IRA and 401k for the last 7 years, guys. Jamie Dimon himself said that we are going through an economic hurricane and we need to protect ourselves. You have to look at what central banks are doing, rich people are doing, and, billionaires are buying gold all over the place. Do yourself a favor and get information on an IRA or 401k from Patriot Gold Group. Think about this, no fee. If you have an existing IRA or 401k, they can do the transfer without any tax liability. Call them today before it's too late. 888-330-1431. Look at what even banks like Wells Fargo are saying, that we're about to enter a commodity super cycle and we're going to see gold spike. You don't want to miss out on this. Call them today, 888-330-1431 today, and get your free investor guide. The three big banks, JP Morgan Chase, Citigroup, and Wells Fargo, are seeing massive amounts of deposits added over the course of the last 3 weeks since the banking debacle started. And they're wondering how much further this can go. And the smaller banks are concerned about their liquidity. There's a great article below talking about this. And once again, I have no faith in these people at all to come up with a realistic solution that's going to benefit all of us and that's going to be realistic. But isn't it weird that all this money is getting moved out of different locations and putting elsewhere? Good. I'm glad people are doing that because it's what they should do right now. A couple things to end this video. It is anticipated that 81% of all jobs over the course of the next 5 years, could be eliminated because of artificial intelligence. Great article below talking about this, but think about this. The writing, sports writing, if you have AI involved with a game, you don't need a writer. He's gonna follow the game and break it down and do the highlights for you. Singles, doubles, home runs. Angels scored 3 runs in this inning. All that stuff, okay? The insurance industry, you're gonna have procedures that people could follow, and AI could determine if you are in compliance or not. Compliance, that industry. You know, safety, rule following, everything. Artificial intelligence could tell if that's being done or not, if you're doing what you're supposed to do. Which leads you to like, okay, well, do we need all these jobs right now? I'm telling you guys, there's a lot of people out there that don't want to look at change. It is anticipated during the health crisis that we jumped a decade as far as jobs, as far as industry changes. I, for one, I've seen it. I've seen certain things that will never be the same again in the medical space. I have seen certain things that will never be the same in conference spaces. I have seen certain things that will never be the same in marketing, to say the least. A lot of new things that have come out and more to come too. Final story in this video is an Oxford professor, a guy named Wade Allison. He did a study on wind energy and how inefficient it is. He also did a study that said the wind turbine problems, if somebody was in elementary school, grade school, that they would not, if they put the math together, they would understand how bad this is and what a complete debacle the idea of wind energy is, and how these people are going to lose it when they do the math on this stuff. And it's been a complete loser. But where I'm leading with this is that the UK is going to have an energy shortage like we've never seen before. Look at Sri Lanka, people. Look at that. They stormed the castle on that one, guys. This could happen in different countries because they're being force-fed. You've got to do this, you've got to do that. And wind turbines just aren't working right now. So share your thoughts on this stuff. Let me know what you think about the banking situation. This is just the beginning of this, guys. This is it. If you think that they've come up with some solution, you are kidding yourself. People right now are moving money and pulling money out of their banks like we've never seen before. Bank run? You bet there's a bank run. So do not forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Take a look at the sponsor today. And you guys keep asking me about the VPN company. It's Private Internet Access is the VPN company that I use. It's the best one out there. The link will be below. Take a look at them as well. Again, onward and upward, guys. I will see you very soon. If you want to reach me, hello@iAllegedly.com. See you soon.